Yo, what's poppin' Animites? Wing is on, everyday Wise is here. Welcome to 𝚲𝚘𝚡, and today I'll be discussing my theory on Deku and possibly other 1A students and their departure to America. My Hero Academia is a story built on parallels, and if you take a step back and look at the series as a whole, every concept in the story, from villain attacks to family dynamics, are parallel to another event or person in the story. With that being said, I wanted to look at the possibility of the paralleled experiences that both Deku and All Might share, and sum that up with my theory on why I believe Deku and possibly some other 1A students will be leaving to America. And I say maybe some 1A students because I want to be as practical as possible. I believe Deku for sure will go, and there is a high possibility of others coming as well because of how trustworthy he is, along with the idea of peer development. But regardless, Deku and All Might share many things in common. They both were born without quirks, but regardless of what society says, they wanted to become a pro hero. A hero who can protect everyone with a smile. And while Deku ultimately got his heroic philosophies from his master All Might also got the exact same heroic philosophy from his master 𝙲𝚘𝚙𝚢𝚑𝚝. Both grew up to eventually get into Japan's most prestigious school, UA High, and ultimately having met their masters on that journey to UA High. And when it's all said and done, both the master of All Might, which is 𝙲𝚘𝚙𝚢𝚑, and the master of Deku, which is All Might, will have been killed by the power of All for One. However, there is one main difference, and that's a sense of responsibility that they both express. All Might believed he had to keep everything a secret from his peers and others, and do everything by himself. Deku is slowly opening up to the people he truly counts on and trusts, and understands he needs the help of his friends to achieve his goals of becoming the greatest hero. But these parallels, although they are tragic, are real, and considering the possibilities of the aftermath of this war, there aren't too many options for the heroes and the students. So let me explain. I think it's fair to say that more than likely the succession of the Paranormal Liberation War will result in All Might's death, along with many other heroes and maybe students as well. Whenever Shigaraki is activated, he will undeniably end the entire war and go on a rampage. So how would the war end if we also know that most of the students and important heroes won't die? What would need to happen for the war to end? Because in all honesty, I'm sure Shigaraki, if given the opportunity, would kill every single hero in his way along with All Might, leaving no one on the battlefield. The only option would be that Shigaraki goes into a relapse or some backlash of some sorts, similar to 9 in the My Hero Academia movie Heroes Rising, where he couldn't properly use a lot of his quirks because of his blood compatibility with his transformations. But I don't think that specific thing will happen. We have to remember that in chapter 261 of the manga, while Medico was fighting against the high-end Nomus, Dr. Uchiko said that those high-ends weren't complete due to not having the complete stabilization time required, which is about 10 hours. Which makes them significantly weaker than they otherwise would be. Well, I envision that exact same thing with Shigaraki now that he's only 71% in his stabilization. Shigaraki will probably have enough power to complete his mission of killing All Might, and the backlash of him being released early could come into play for the heroes to make a clean escape. But then you have to ask, what's going to happen next? The students and heroes can't just go back to their everyday lives at UA and as heroes. They need to prepare for the next battle with the new All for One. And with the war starting 1 month from its original date, I think it's safe to say that Shigaraki would continue his stabilization for the next month or so, and upon receiving the full power of All for One, would continue to destroy all of Japan as he claimed he was going to do in the first place. So what does the heroes do, and where do they go? Well, to America. Now you may think that's a stretch, but let me explain further on how I see the parallels from All Might and Deku. All Might was in this exact same situation, minus having every hero in an all-out war, but All for One versus his master is what I would think is the compared situation to Deku losing All Might, where both masters die. Gran Torino was the person to train All Might and prepare him for his next battle with All For One. However, he said that All Might doesn't have the power nor experience required to beat All For One, and the only way for him to get that power and experience is to go to America after graduating UA to get as far away from the surveillance of All For One and learn to be a hero. I mentioned this in my theory on why Inko Midoriya is Nana Shimura's daughter, and I asked myself, why would Gran Torino send All Might to America out of all the places in the world? And my conclusion was because he, along with Nana, have connections with people in America that could groom All Might to become an amazing hero. So why would that not also work for Deku and maybe even a select few of Class 1A students? If you think about it, after the war, there needs to either be a huge leap in everyone's power in a few months while Shigaraki finishes his stabilization and completion of getting All For One, or you can sacrifice the present for a better future, which is what All Might did, and a few years from now, in like a time skip fashion, you have Deku and a few other students go to different areas of Japan or to America where we know that they are allies and train, gain experience and strength, and like All Might, come back and defeat All For One. To me, this would just make the most sense. It's similar to the actions in Sabaody and Marineford arc in One Piece, where Luffy knew he and his crew were not strong enough to fight these top tier pirates and marine admirals, and they had to run away. And after realizing just how weak he was after failing to save Ace from death, Luffy extended their training to 2 years. I see that happening in My Hero Academia, where the students and heroes doesn't have what it takes to win, and the main cast of students and heroes lose the war. And Deku decides, from maybe Gran Torino's word, to go to America with a few UA students like Bakugo, Ochako, Kirishima, Tsuyu, and Shoto, and maybe Ida, because this seems to be the main crew of Class 1A that Horikoshi pushes to the front lines. But from here, there's a 2 to 5 year time skip where the students are all more experienced and stronger. Deku and Bakugo's relationship and teamwork are significantly better, and when they come back, their mission is to eventually take down the new All For One. So at the end of the day, I believe the parallels from Deku and All Might will spark this time skip. And similar to All Might, Deku and a few of his classmates will be going to America. The main difference is All Might wanted to do everything by himself, and Deku understands that in order to achieve everything he wants, he needs help from his friends. But that's all about judging from my theory. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and if you did, definitely smash that like button and sub for dubs to join the Animites on this amazing journey. Let me know in the comment section what you think about this idea. Am I missing any key components, or am I spot on? And you don't have to leave just yet. Why not check out some of my other discussion videos in this playlist here, or check out some of the other content on Mangavation. But I love you all, and until next time, Animite stand up and win your zone every single day.